Well, what can we say about Fairy Tale chapter 485? I know for a fact that a lot of people are gonna dislike this chapter, and also the fact I'm not gonna review. No, I'm gonna review. I'm not gonna read the review of them on the personal Fairy Tale because I know exactly what you're gonna say. You're gonna say that this chapter sucked, but for me, no, I like this one. Heroic second wind, I prefer to call it, but then again, that's only me. But what happens in it? Well, first of all, the gang of Team Natsu, that is Lucien Natsu and strangely enough, Mest, because well, Mest still cannot trust Brandish, and technically he is in the right. You shouldn't trust people that easily. And also, Brandish will try to negotiate with August, as she said, because according to her, August is the gentlest person of all the Spring and 12, which is actually for me pretty weird. They all call him a calamity, not to mention that Jacob says he's a guy with no nonsense. I have a very hard time believing he is the gentlest. Then again, he did save Gajeel when all the rest of the Springhams just left them to their fates. So, I guess that hints towards something. But of course, she has no idea how to talk with August. In order to get there quickly, she decides to increase the size of Happy. Yeah, a giant Happy. And it turns out that that Brandish has a girlish side, liking cute things. Elsewhere, Kana has still not tried to break the Astro's projections, even which is pretty strange. I mean, her magic power is said to be strong. Mavis at the beginning thinks that Kana is reminded of her childhood friend Sera that we all saw from Fairy Tale Zero. But remembering on how much of a drinker Kana is, she immediately decides to say that away. Instead, even though apparently the reason why Kana still hasn't destroyed the astral body of Mavis is because she still has a hesitation in her heart that this is her comrade. So Mavis gives her some inspirational speech to to believe that Sarah is in her heart, and she Mavis is also in her heart. Therefore, if she cannot attack, she cannot free them. This is not a spell to attack a comrade, but to save one. And now to the part where a lot of people are gonna hate, because of course they are people who are gonna hate. The Fairy Tale gang breaks through the people's the army. We even see Gajeel with his Mitsurugi. Sabertooth master Sting still a little bit bumps in the dumps, but then actually something quickly happens that is actually both sweet, heartwarming, and actually strangely funny and weird at the same time. He resolved his heroic BSOD pretty quickly, but the one who actually knocks some sense into him is not his cat, is not his best friend. No, it's Yukino. Yukino who takes his hand and then slaps him right in the face, even if she too has tears in her eyes. And the faces of the Sabertooth gang are just priceless. Because yeah, nobody saw that coming. I admit, not even I saw that one coming. Yukino has been known to be the most polite member and quite a doormat, but no, she is the one who brings Sting out of his funk. I guess we can call it official now. I thought for a time that Rouge and Yukino will be an item, but nah, it's all Sting and Yukino. So she gives him an encouragement saying, I know you have the power to fight because you are the master. Even though I gotta say, well, maybe not the most inspirational speech Fairy Tale has done before, but hey, it's Fairy Tale. I am not complaining. Uh, but she does have a point, though, that he needs to encourage everybody else, even because he is the master. This is the time it's not the time for him to fall into it. So it may not be a flashy speech; it's just some kind of normal speech that you can times to do in the war. She apologizes for slapping him, but it's all good. So yeah, so with that, Sting does say some inspirational by saying, "We tigers still haven't eaten our fill. We're gonna feast for 5 days starting now." That's the title. As the mermaid Heels also joins in the battle as they try to do it. And Minerva, well, Minerva, she's okay, even though she was also defeated. So the heroic second wind of Sabertooth and Mermaid Heel happens, which is pretty weird. And I mean, they looked so bummed out, and then they just bounce out just like that. But hey, again, it's fairy tale. Deal with it. On a side, however, they won't deal with the main monsters, so at least be happy about that. Because on a side note is that fact that we see Radman, the Reaper, who still makes people die when for some unknown reason. It's almost like he has some kind of mist or whatever. And the one who attacks him is none other than Gajeel, who pins him to a tree with his iron spikes and then hits him with his sword. Because the fact that he saw Mermaid Heel and Sabertooth crucified, it actually brought back a bad memory for him. Because we all recall when he was a member of Phantom Lord, he also crucified people, levying them. So, but Gajeel has changed, even though he don't want to admit it. So all the pain and frustration is building up now. I'll make sure to return it in spades. With an angry look in his eyes, for bringing back the worst memory of my life, you are going to feel my full wrath. As we see a glimpse of Arabman's face, it's just as ugly as his mask. The fact is that how he talks is extremely creepy. He seems to talk in old English. He laughs and says, "What thou hast just touched is death itself." So that's basically this chapter. Gajeel versus Radman. Next week's chapter is called The Fourth Guest. So who is the fourth? Is that August? Because if August is joining there, then we can all know what's going to happen then. So it's Gajeel versus Radman, and that's good. Kick his ass, Gajeel. You're the only one who can. But I hope Gajeel will at least get Dragon Force. Not because he needs that to defeat them. No, I will be more than enough happy if he can defeat Radman without the Dragon Force. It's just that Gajeel needs a Dragon Force, at least this arc. So yeah, I mean, I liked it. Liked the chapter. I may not have been as most inspirational about the speech of Sabertooth and Mermaid Heel getting back to the game, but in a way you have to realize that's logical. Fairy Tale can't defeat all the mooks and the monsters of Springham together alone, no matter even if they are Fairy Tale. Therefore, they will deal with the mooks while the others deal. Fairy Tale deal with the monsters while they deal with the mooks. The Sabertooth and Fairy Tale. Mermaid Heel. I cannot even talk. So, for me, it was a solid chapter, and I'm glad that I like the sweet moments. Yukino and Sting, they are definitely going to be an item. Give me your thoughts if you have any.